this video, I'm going to tell you how I conceptualized and painted my anniversary gift. So since I gifted this to my husband, I wanted it to be a reminiscence of a beautiful time that we spent together. We always loved the beaches, and this was a time when we went to the beach on a full moon day. We spent in the beach, we watched the night sky, we gazed at the moon, we had a very good time. So it is still fresh in my memory and I wanted it to bring it in my painting. So thus a full moon beach night is the theme of my painting. For this I took up a lot of references. For example, for the beach sand, I took reference from Google Images. I just googled in as moonlit beach sand. I wanted to know the color tone of the sand when the moonlight hits the sand. So for the night sky, it's pretty much my imagination. The color tone and everything is pretty much my imagination. For the water, I took reference from a clipping of a movie song. So this song was perfect as how I imagined. It is as if someone sees us from the water. So for the two objects, instead of us, I put in two turtles. So one turtle is awed by the beauty of the moon, whereas the other, he's very chilled off, he's relaxed, he's having a nice hangout in the breezy wind of the beach. So it actually depicts our characteristics as husband and wife. And for the color tone of the water, I took an image, a painting which I saw in Instagram. So all these groundwork, I do it before I do the exact sketching of the painting. So these references, I feel it's very important because to bring in realism in a painting, it's easier to see a picture and do it rather than if you have something in your mind. At least for me, it runs in abstract. So I see a picture and I draw it so that it gives that exact realistic depth in that painting. And for the turtles, I took reference from the film Finding Nemo. So these are the things that I did before I went to sketching. So my sketching is done. Two turtles, water, the waves. So the first layer of the water, it's very dark. I'm bringing out crystal white water from the dark sand. That's what I'm trying to do. So it's blue and brown mix for the dark sand, and the edges of the water wave is white and blue. It should be dark. The first coat is dark. The sky is bright blue. I'm circling white clouds in it. So for the sand, it's dark brown and ochre. The sand is also pretty much wavy. So as you can see, the water is still wet. So that's the beauty of oil painting, guys. It stays wet almost for 3 days. So if at all I want to touch water again, it's easier for me to blend in. If at all I want the water to make it even more darker, I can just darken it even after 3 days. The turtle, I'm blocking in with some dark brown. So that is linseed oil that I used. So for oil painting, we use linseed oil to mix the paint with oil. The turtles, as you can see, one turtle is awed by the moonlight So the second layer of the sand is what I'm doing now. As you can see, the strokes of the sand goes in the direction of the fall of the sand. It's almost in a slant direction. So I've turned the painting around to do the dark side of the sand. I'm building the underneath of the water. These lines are the tiny projections of the sand that you see from the water. So I was short of brushes, so I'm basically doing the teeny tiny droplets with the available brush I had. We usually do it with a fan brush. So this is dabbing. I'm dabbing my sand with my soft blender. That's the brush. So that's how the sand and the water came, guys. So if you can see, the water is crystal white with those teeny tiny droplets. And I'm doing the second layer of my turtle. It's like a painting is generally like, at least for me, it's like sculpting. It's already there in the canvas and you're just bringing it out. It has to come out of that canvas board. So that white highlights on the shell of the tortoise is really the reflection of the moonlight. So the shell is shining, it's glowing in the moonlight. That's what realism is. It's showing that hardness of that shell. It's so hard, it's so glowy. You gotta give that in your painting. It has to speak. And for the legs of the tortoise, I'm blocking in some dark green, and the legs are pretty scaly, so I'm using some light green for the tiny scales in the tortoise's legs. See how the legs have, it's like they're glowing in that moonlight, those legs. So this mix is for the underneath of the tortoise. It's kind of a light brown or maybe pinkish brown. It shows how soft it is. The underneath is the softest part. The color itself shows how soft it is. So this guy, he is totally awed by the beauty of the moon, and that guy, he is chilled out. He wants to enjoy the breeze. Maybe he wants to get inside the water. That's how we are as individuals. Two different ways, yet staying together in love. So for the eyes, I'm doing blue, white, and the reflection of the moon is seen in the eyes. I want to depict that. That I'm seeing the moon, and that moon is inside my eyes. As you can see, that's come out well. The moon that the tortoise is seeing is in his eyes. This guy, I'm scaling up his forehead. He's totally chilled out. He's happy the way he is. He wants to have some fun maybe. And he's smiling. And I love that. As you can see, the water, guys, these tiny teeny white strokes in the water, that gives that little waviness, and it's transparent, and the underneath sand is seen from the water. So I've completed it, I've signed it, and there you go. Two beautiful turtles enjoying the beach night. Thank you for watching.